Hey all, welcome to War 3, where you're going to see some of my worst play without giving up a death that I can remember, and then also some really darn good fights. I think this is going to be a fun one. So, follow along. First up, we have Leader versus Thing here. It's a very simple fight, right? You don't try and reverse healing because you can't. There's no, not on this node, right? There's no power gain to reverse, and so there is only one thing to this fight. Count things rock stacks and go to special 3. I guess you can count that as two things, right? But like, that's it. That's the only thing, and I just need to count rock stacks. And you saw that I already kind of messed it up there at the start by pushing him to 14. And I handled it with that heavy, but then what the heck did I do here? Why did I not finish that combo? I know that I'm used to shortened combos with Leader because it is often what he wants. I should have finished that combo. Almost caused myself a significant problem. Thankfully, it was able to hold block. I noticed that I messed up, and so I was able to turn it around. I get the special 3. We have that big degen, just waiting for the protection to fall off and to go on cooldown. And cool, that's going pretty well. And now notice that we have 9 hits here. So I should have held block there and reparried, or not reparried, but baited a heavy. But yeah, that was rough. Because then I went for a blocked hit, and he dropped his block, and so we triggered the Unstoppable and put him in exactly where we didn't want him. And then I just got kind of lucky here. That was honestly I'll give myself some credit. That was really good corner play there for a little bit, holding on to things, using the striker, which had 3 hits to get things back on track, being just far away enough from the wall after it that I could dex one of the heavies, and then I got lucky that he threw the special, and that allowed me to regain control, get to my special 3, and I was ready to finish it off, but thankfully he just killed himself with the green door there. So yeah, like I said, some credit to myself for the corner play, but messy. Moving on to Kindred, this can't really afford to be that messy. But this one is going to be a bit easier, right? Because we have the degen from the special 3, but the other thing we have is that there is actually Mystic Dispersion in this fight. And that means that there is power gain for us to reverse, and that means that we can use the power dissolve. I think I did try and dash in there, and the input just didn't work for me, and so I had to kind of change course and then get ready to back off, right? That's where that punish didn't happen. And then I hit in here, and unfortunately now we have the degens on us, right? This is pretty unfortunate because we're getting backed up, and so I go, all right, I almost have the striker. Let me get one hit in, intercept with the striker. Yeah, it's putting degens on us, but then we knock them down, and boom, that speeds up the last little bit of Nightmare Outbreak that we had left, and we got to drop the degens before they became more of a problem. And then notice this doesn't quite work out for us. Like, we get that punish, but we didn't trigger dex, so there's no power dissolve. I was late on this punish, and now I'm going to push Kindred over the 25% mark with a basic, which is a problem because it means when they go for their heavy there, they don't consume their own power to activate their stun immunity thing. And that means that I don't benefit from the power dissolve that way. Now I throw another power dissolve here. It would have been better if I'd thrown that power dissolve before this. Actually, it was relatively smart what I was doing there. I was trying to get a little bit more power so the power back boosts that I'm running would get me over a bar. But if I'd thrown that special right away there, before Kindred activated the heavy and consumed power, I think it probably would have gotten me back to a bar, and then we would have done damage with the power dissolve. It's okay. The important thing with Kindred is having a special ready for the end, and we did manage to do that. So that definitely could have been cleaner, but we were sticking to the main points of not parrying when Masochism was off cooldown, and mostly controlling Kindred stuff, keeping specials ready. I'll do better next time. We move on to Shocker here with Serpent. This is a really good matchup. I am going to do something stupid. So I'm trying to make sure that I don't get pushed back too far here. I don't know why I did that, honestly. I know how Shocker works with Limber. But now I'm hitting into Coldsnap. I was fine getting a single poison there, or just risking a couple poisons, again, to make sure we didn't lose too much space. These Coldsnaps are going perfectly fine. Again, the whole point is we're ignoring Shocker's chance to auto-block. He doesn't have enough charges right now, but we're ignoring it completely by playing Serpent properly, because he's just going unblockable for his specials. I honestly forget. I know that something goes wrong, but it's been a few days and I forget what. Oh, nope, I just remembered. This will be fun. Okay, so there's the special ones we bait out. We expected that. We would like to go for an intercept, but it doesn't really matter, because we don't really need to control his charges if we can just throw the special one through it. This worked fine. Yeah, throw the special one into block, pause, get the unblockable. This is going really well, right? And there's the problem. I was late on the special one punish. And then I panic, and where is it? I think I throw the special into the air, hoping that it intercepts. Something along those lines. Nope, I just get hit there. No, that was good. Oh man, this really went south right at the last minute, didn't it? There it is. I try and sidestep into the special. That was the problem, right? Because sidestepping into the special doesn't work because, yeah, the first hit lands, but then he auto-blocks after the unblockable is gone. So really dumb. I just needed to find a minute to hit into his block here. I was waiting out the poison, really trying not to mess anything further up. I had the special ready to throw into block, but the striker finished it off. So yeah, obviously, being late on a special punish and getting parried is never good, but sidestepping into a special when I needed to throw it into block was the real mistake there. Moving on to this Medusa fight, I just took my hood to rank 3. I've never been the person with the biggest hood in a battle group. I've assigned him plenty, but I've never been the one to actually do it. But I know the theory for hazard shift fights, right? You power start 1, you rush to the special 2, you get that hex up, and not only do you have a fate seal that deals with cosmics really well, but you also have that, if I remember correctly off the top of my head, 65% ability accuracy reduction that's going to stop hazard shift for you. And that's the whole point here, right? We are still getting roughly 1/3 of the debuffs that would have applied to us. We're still taking damage. It's not the cheapest way to take hazard shift fights if you're doing a lot of them, but it absolutely works for someone like Medusa. We move on. I took a break here to go practice my Photon fights, make sure I was ready for the dexes, and then I went in with Leader, who some commenters described as very slow and a terrible choice for this node a couple videos ago. I think you're going to see the vision here, right? Because this one, I'm taking block damage, but I am much more able to stay close to Photon here, and this time I am letting the root apply to me more. That one I won't pretend was entirely on purpose, because I would have liked to have a bar before I let it happen. But by having the root on myself, I'm the one breaking it. I'm keeping a better tempo. I'm not having to worry about her heavies while rooted. And just in general, I'm able to stay closer, keep those regens up, and keep a good uptime on my specters to reverse the regens. And we're doing real damage here. Now, she has Pure Light Form here. She can definitely throw it. We have to make sure that we block and then are ready for the parry there at the end. But we can just stay aggressive and we don't even have to worry about Pure Light Form expiring. We don't have to worry about the special 2. We were just keeping an eye on our health bar and closed it out. And that is a rank 4 Photon down in less than a minute. And that's why you send Leader to this node, right? The severe debuffs completely ignore the Purify that's now on the node and messes with characters like Void and Mr. Fantastic. You can stay close. The special 1 animation is actually good for staying close and triggering personal space regen, as long as you learn how to use that root node for your benefit rather than letting it work against you and your tempo. Leader's capable of things like that. Now, I won't pretend that the Zola fight is terribly likely to go down in less than a minute. He is a harder defender for Leader than Photon is. But that was a rank 4. And that proves why leader is awesome. I never did get around to making my leader showcase. I've got a bunch of fights that look kinda like this, basically. He's just really, really good at what he does, and what he does comes up a lot. And then you factor in the protection that he has from debuffs on the opponent to make him tankier, the way he synergizes with Inequity, the very simple way that he applies his debuffs. He can be more aggro. He doesn't necessarily need to wait on timers. He doesn't have to land heavies. He doesn't even necessarily have to land specials. Very, very strong war champion. Happy to have him duped, and I love that we had the opportunity to take this fight here and that I can share it with y'all. So I hope y'all enjoyed that, and until next time, thank you so much for watching, and take care.